Judge Nikki Harrell is gonna be the MC. This right here are the questions, and just so you know, right off at the very end of this, I'll leave this over here, open it up, you can see all the questions that are in here, but the way this is gonna go is that these are the questions that were submitted online or through email. So, what we'll do is there's two of them in here that are directly, geared towards the mayor. So each candidate will pull a question out of here. That's the fairest way I can think of doing it, is all the questions are here. They will pull them. If it's directed at the mayor, we'll let the two mayor candidates that are here address that. They will both address the same question. Then another candidate will pull a question. If that's geared towards the council member, then the two council member nominees that are here, they will both have an opportunity to address that. And then we'll pull another one. If that one's for the mayor, or if it's for council, then whoever it's towards, that's who will answer those questions like that. Originally, I thought we were gonna do 3. I thought we'd have all 6 candidates here. We have, Stephen Steele is not gonna be able to make it, he's working. Danny White is not gonna be able to make it, he has a family emergency. Judge Harrell has a letter from him. We're going to change it barely. At the beginning, we will give each candidate an opportunity to introduce themselves. Judge is gonna go over that. I'm actually gonna stop now because I said you were gonna say all that. No, I just got carried away.
I was gonna turn it over to you.
It's what he does.
He was on a roll.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't you say order in the court?
So thank you for for being here. This is a really important opportunity to listen to what the candidates have to say. And I just wish there were twice as many that were here, because it's very important to know what their opinion is, what their thoughts are, and I appreciate you all being here. So, that being said, why don't the candidates all come forward? Don't be shy. I mean, this is your opportunity. They get to choose wherever you want to sit. Okay, so Roger explained to you about the selecting a question, which we will do. I'm going to go ahead and start with a letter from Danny, since he's not here, but I want each of the candidates to remember that at the end, you will have your 2 minutes to share your thoughts and kind of wrap up your presentation, whatever you want to say. So that's kind of what we're doing with Danny here at the beginning, because then he won't be part of the rest of it. Okay. So let me go ahead and read his statement. First, I want to thank you all for being here and for taking the time to stay engaged and informed about the direction of our city. Unfortunately, I cannot be here due to an unexpected family emergency. I'm sending my sincerest apologies for not being able to attend in person, and anyone who knows me knows how much I value these opportunities to speak directly with you, listen to your concerns, and share my vision of our community. For the past 5 years, I have proudly served on the Clyde City Council. During this time, my focus has always been on doing what is right for the city, not what's easy, not what's popular, but what is right. I have never taken a thought, honest conviction. My vision is jumping lines. I have never taken a single vote lightly, and each decision I have made came from careful thought, honest conviction, and a deep belief in building a stronger, safer, and more connected community. I'm fully vested in this city, not just as a council member, but as a resident, neighbor, and someone who truly cares about the people. The work I have done reflects that commitment, supporting responsible growth and ensuring our city continue to be a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Although I cannot be here, please know how grateful I am for your trust and support over the years. I remain dedicated as ever, serving you and seeing through the projects and initiatives that make a real difference in people's lives. I believe leadership is about showing up, standing firm on your principles, and working for the good of all. And that is exactly what I feel I have done and will continue to do. if given the privilege to keep serving you on Clyde City Council. I would like to thank you for your understanding, your support, and your belief in the work that still lies ahead. I look forward to being back with you soon and continuing the important conversations that move our city forward. From Danny White. Okay, that being said, we will move forward with selecting a question. As Roger said, a couple of these questions that have been submitted are specific to the mayoral candidates. If that happens to be chosen, only the mayor candidates will answer it. By the way, we will alternate so that one goes first one time, the other goes first the next time. So it's not the same one always having the first shot at the question. Oh, you got it really closed up.
He didn't want
Okay.
Faye to get into it.
So you need to pick, should we start on this end? Select a question randomly. Would you like me to read it so that you don't be reading it first?
Judge, did you want to have them introduce themselves?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, introduce themselves.
Oh, yes, thank you. I was just anxious to get into the questions. Please introduce yourself and say what position you're seeking, and also how long have you been in this, how long have you resided in Clyde? Thank you.
Test, test.
Is it on?
Yes. I think that's just for the county.
Yeah, it just goes to my phone. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, well,
My name is Blake Adams. I've lived here since 2018. I'm a small business owner. 12 years in the military, the Air Force. Got 3 kids, all in the schools.
that's all, introduction.
Okay,
That's
sounds
all.
good.
Very good, thank you. Okay, will you introduce yourself?
My name is Mike Shellhammer. I've lived in Clyde for 3 years. I work for TxDOT, and other than that, my beautiful wife is Tammy.
Hey, I'm Bo Davidson, running for City Council. I've lived here in Clyde for 10 years in an area surrounding Clyde my whole life.
And I'm Paul McGuire. I'm running for mayor. Lived here in Clyde for 22 years. Wife and I both work for the school. She teaches 2nd grade, and I do all the IT stuff.
Thank you. Okay, the first question that was selected is a tough one, but it's going to be, each one of them will have the chance to answer it. So we'll just start, since you picked it, I'll go ahead and start with you, and we'll just go right down. Okay. The question is, which measures will you implement to ensure that your decisions are data-driven and evidence-based? I'm going to repeat that. Which measures will you implement to ensure that your decisions are data-driven, evidence-based? That's kind of a tough one to start with, but what do you have to say on it?
It is a good question. I have no experience with city government. First, I would like to see how it runs. I want to see the data. I want to rely on the people that can bring in the correct data, and then check facts against the data. And I don't know, that's a tough one. And just rely on the data and move forward and rely on the city council to help us make the correct decisions.
Okay, Mike, you want to go ahead and give a response?
A lot of research, not relying on fellow council members that are, I'm not going to say previous council members, but use my own judgment. I want to look out for the citizens of Clyde, not just myself. So if that makes sense to everybody.
All right, one thing I'm looking at doing is putting on the agenda a special meeting for a workshop. And to do that is to pass a debt policy ordinance. our debt policy management ordinance. It consists of, it's just kind of a rough idea, a rough framework, because it needs full council involvement and everybody's input. But this is going to be something for the future for all, city council members, and for also would include transparency, following up on projects, and including with the transparency will be monthly evidence-based PowerPoint presentations. They got the 2 monitors there in the council chambers on the streams. We can put that up on there. And the same thing, information that's in the handouts that are handed to the council members, we can provide to everybody in plain language, and do that every single month to ensure we understand where the city's at, not just for the public, but also for the council members as well.
Hey, we've been doing this for quite some time. You're given your financial reports every month. Some of it you have to dig a little deeper to find more information to make those decisions. The good thing with the requirements for us being citizens of the city limits of Clyde is the decisions we make affect us too. And a lot of times you try to take personal out of it, but you want to keep the personal into I guess personal feelings, but personal as in how is this going to affect me? And we do rely on some of the information that we're given, but we do have to dig deeper and find make sure that the data that we're given makes sense, and make the best decision from that.
Thank you. Before we go further, is there a time limit on their answers? That was not set before we started.
I would say 2 minutes, but I don't think anybody, we probably won't go
Okay,
for
I just want to make
filibusters,
sure
but
somebody doesn't get real long-winded, and then everybody else might have the amount of time that they need. So if there's no.
that seems about appropriate, like what they were
Okay.
doing, but that's up to the candidates.
Okay, if
I
you're
really don't
comfortable, we'll
mind.
cut you off at 2 minutes. Is somebody keeping time anyway?
I can.
Okay, just in case.
Our official timekeeper.
All right, second question. I'll read it, you get to
All right.
pick.
Where it started, I think it was somebody else, right? Oh, yeah.
Okay, this looks like a long one. This is a question for the mayor candidates. The
Who wants to go
mayor's
first?
most important duty is to carry out the legislative responsibilities he or she shares with other members of the council. Knowing that, how will you identify the needs of the city, develop a program, and satisfactorily reflect the policy goals of the council? I'm gonna read it one more time. The mayor's most important duty is to carry out the legislative responsibilities he shares with other members of the council. Knowing that, how will you identify the needs of the city, develop a program, and satisfactorily reflect the policy goals of the council? Are you starting since you have?
I will start. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a long question, but a good one. There's lots of different things that the mayor's kind of ahead of, but we definitely have to work with the rest of the council, try to keep the council informed. When there's emergencies, we try to make ourselves available to help in any way. But more importantly, it's just listening to the citizens and see what they want, what their opinion is on anything that's either going on in the city or put on the agenda. I did find out when taking over as mayor that mayor doesn't really have a vote unless it's a tie, and so got to just keep the rest of the council informed and try to make the best decisions from the data that you're given.
Okay, pass it to Blake.
I think my first deal is just to listen. I'm a citizen too, but I'm here for the people. And being able to implement and react accordingly, and work with the council as well. Like he said, our vote is only there if it's a tie, but we have a voice and we can be a voice, and just listen to the people, really.
No question.
We're not taking questions, we're giving them an opportunity at this point, we're not.
Okay, and that's what my question was. When we
Hold
ask-
on to the mic.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you get to. I'm just gonna stand here so y'all can hear me out. This is another question for the mayor candidates.
It looks like a wild one, too.
Get him out of
It's
the way.
not. Okay. The mayor's participation in local ceremonies, business openings, emergencies, and media is expected. How will this fit into your schedule? I'll repeat it. The mayor's participation in local ceremonies, business openings, emergencies, and media is expected. How will this fit into your schedule? You have it. Okay, you start.
Okay. So I'm a small business owner, and I have a business partner. So with that, I have the flexibility to go and do as I need whenever. It really doesn't matter. So, and that's part of the reason that I'm running, because I do have somebody as a backup. So if an emergency does happen, I can step out when needed.
Okay, you're gonna pass it over to Paul.
So yeah, great question again. I've definitely found out that being in the mayor position, that it does take a lot of time, whether it's during the day or after hours. Whenever the moment arises, you definitely have to be ready to step in. I do work for the school, but I do have the flexibility to be out when I need to be. Good old train.
Right on time.
Right on time. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it does take time. I know I try to come by the city hall on my lunch break, a couple times a week, or if not more, to just kind of see what's going on, to make sure that we're going in the right direction. And seems like it's never a dull moment around city hall, for sure. So yeah, it does take a lot of time personally during the day, and anytime the phone rings, it seems like it's an opportunity to do something as the mayor. I guess it's my turn to draw.
It is your turn to draw.
All right.
Now, here's what's happened.
Okay.
Both questions for the mayors have been picked and have been answered. So the next question will just be for the council candidates, but you get to choose.
I get to pick. Okay. Is there anything left in there?
Yeah, there are.
All right. There we go.
That sounds real decisive too. The question is, this is a short question. How do you feel about the Texas alcoholic beverage laws? Again, how do you feel about the Texas alcoholic beverage laws?
Well, the laws, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. And so, because state law always, of course, going to trump a general law city. But the one thing we need to try to do, and I know we tried this 3 years ago, is to get alcohol service, like, for example, what a hotel could provide in their restaurant, on the ballot. And to do so, you need, I don't remember how many it was it half of
35%.
35% of the previous gubernatorial election that participated in order to do that. We have to get it on the ballot. It's not something that the city can unilaterally change. It's not something we can do through policy or through ordinance. And so if we can do that, I think it gives us a better fighting chance in order to get more business and investment into the city, especially something that can synergize well with the sports complex.
Okay. I have to agree with Bo on that. It's a source of revenue I think we as a city is missing out on. You take a little town like Baird, that place is thriving. And I'm not saying it's all because of alcohol sales, but you got restaurants that serve alcohol. I mean, we got 79510 that's going out of business today because they can't survive. I mean, we need another source of income for money for the city, I feel.
I don't know if Blake wants to comment on that, but I will. Okay. You good with that?
You both want to answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, I agree. I agree with the other two gentlemen here. It's definitely a source of revenue that we're missing out on. We've had Stalin Times that closed because they couldn't sustain that. I know there's, that people are going to get it whether they get it here or if they go somewhere else and get it. And like I said, Baird's doing real well. Railhead's doing real well. But it's something that, like Bo said, it's based off of the gubernatorial election that's coming up, I guess, next November 26th. So our best opportunity to get that is going to be in the 2027 election, based off of the numbers off the gubernatorial election. And so yeah, that's definitely some revenue that we're missing out on. And like Bo said, it's a state law, but we've got to figure out how we can get that on the ballot and get that over the finish line. So, here you go, Blake, if you want to comment.
I'm going to agree with them. In Clyde, we don't have a draw. We have nothing that draws people in. We go to Railhead, probably a couple of times a week just to have a beverage and eat a good meal. Can't really do that in Clyde. And we have a huge source of people having the highway run straight through the middle of town for the most part. So if we had some way to draw some of that traffic in, it's a huge source of income, and it would lighten the load on us as citizens as well. So like he said, they're gonna get it one way or another. If you got it here, at least they don't drive as far. But
Okay, thank you. All right, would you pick one more? Now, this is for the councilman.
okay.
Unless we hijack it.
Unless you want to chime in.
That's a pretty important topic, so.
For the council candidates. The real task of a city council member is to provide leadership and direction for the city. You will be planning the future for other generations. What are your plans to secure the future of Clyde? I'll repeat. The real task of a city council member is to provide leadership and direction for the city. You will be planning the future for other generations. What are your plans to secure the future of Clyde?
Okay. First off, we need to get our water situation figured out.
Hallelujah.
That's the major concern right now with me. That and our property taxes. I mean, to me, it's like folks are trying to be driven out of their homes. I mean, we have a lot of elderly, a lot of veterans in this town, and it's almost like they're trying to push everybody out. I mean, and I don't want to see that. My wife and I bought our house here 3 years ago, and she's a veteran also, so we loved it. But our property taxes have skyrocketed in the last 2-3 years. I mean, it's out of control. We need to get that under control. I mean, I understand we got to fund the police department, the fire department. That's a major topic. But we also need to get our taxes and the water situation in line. So.
Yeah, just as Mr. Mike said, the water situation, I think, is one of the biggest problems right now with Clyde and taxes. How are we going to get investment? How are we going to get people coming into the city if they, can't afford the taxes or don't want to pay, a dollar for every $100 valuation for taxes, or pay $160 to $200 a month or more for water? And that is something that right now is, well, at the end of September, Clyde had a total of $53,000 across both major funds. That's it. That was at the end of the month. And that month, the city of Clyde spent $607,000. That just shows you the precarious situation that we're in. And it's the main way that we can do that, to change that, is to bring in alternative ways of revenue capture. We need to get investment in the city. We need to take advantage of this AI development coming out. It's the only way that we're going to be able to do it, because the amount of debt that we have until 2053 is just absolutely absurd. It's almost $70 million when you factor in the interest. And so we got to change the way we do things. We got to get out there and look for grants. We got to take advantage of this $1 billion the state is spending on water next year, and do whatever we can. And we need to get that pipeline going. That is something that, because of the situation, that we can't do at the moment. I mean, the easements were all secured, and it was going to go out to bids that fall, the fall of was it 2023? So it's just, we got to work really hard on that.
That was for the candidate.
Oh, it's right.
Okay.
Unless you want to.
So, I have 3 more questions. Was that the amount of questions that you wanted them to address?
It's more than what we'd set up. Candidates want to continue answering, I don't mind. That's up to you guys.
Want another question? One more? One more for everyone?
Sure.
I mean, I'll take a crack at it. Sure.
You get to pick. I'm not doing it on purpose, it just closes that way. If I can get this up. Okay, this is a short question, but interesting. What strategies will you propose to maintain a small town feel while accommodating growth? What strategies will you propose to maintain a small town feel while accompanying growth? Now let's start with Bo this time.
Oh, I'm not really prepared for that one. Because how do you grow and still have a small feel out of the city? And to me, the best way to do that is to not have property values go way too high, but to not hurt them as well. And I think also we need more investment in our downtown. And as Mike said earlier, this is the last day for Cafe 79510. It's been out there for what was it, 8 years? And so now we're down one more in our downtown. So we need to do something, if we have to involve a lot of effort from people in the community to do whatever we can to beautify the downtown and to make prices more reasonable to operate a business. I think that not expanding the downtown, but bringing more business in the downtown so people want to go there, want to spend money there, and want to shop there is something that we can do to give us a small town feel.
Okay. I was actually asked this question earlier. My thoughts on the city growing. First off, we need to get our water under control before we can grow outside the city limits. I've heard rumors that Clyde's talking about annexing towards Abilene. I think we need to nix that. Worry about what we have here right now. Get our water under control. bring some businesses into the city limits, and then we can possibly grow more. But it's something that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take several years for that to happen. You want to answer?
Sure. I think I'm an advocate for small business. I'm huge on that. So I think we can keep the small town feel. We can keep our downtown. Downtown does need a lot of work, but you're not going to be able to keep those businesses going downtown without a draw, because the citizens themselves can't spend enough money there. There's not enough of us. But if you have a draw to bring people in off the highway, whether it be a sign or whatever, just something, because you've got everything on the highway. And that's the first place everybody's going to go. They're not going to go downtown, mainly because none of them know anything's down there. But you can still grow along the highway, but keep your downtown. You can have the revenue on the highway. It's huge. There's a lot of money there, a lot of people. But we need to work on downtown for sure. It's the ghostly buildings, and now we possibly may have another one. So work on downtown a little bit, and then focus on growing on the highway.
Would you pass it down to Paul?
All right. So yeah, like a lot of them said, downtown's huge. I mean, you go to Baird right now, and they're having the big bash and whatever homecoming or whatever they're having over there. So we've got this good little stretch there. I think one person's bought a lot of it and has big plans, but you know, I guess, I don't know, money or whatever, that hasn't really taken off. We've got definitely the I-20 going right down the middle of the town, on the edge or whatever you want to call it. Some lots of development. I mean, in the last few years, we've had Starbucks come in, and there's talk of multiple other things coming in. The sports complex, we drawing in teams to play there. When there's games going on there, whether I go to Pizza House or Whataburger, or any other place in town, you always see kids in uniform there eating. So it got something to bring them into town, and then they're also shopping at our local restaurants and stuff. But yeah, definitely, and I don't know, for the people that are on the north side of the interstate, they may think otherwise, but with I-20 being kind of on the edge of town, you know, I know my neighborhood is, we still have that small town, walk up and down the road, and you know all your neighbors, and they watch out for your house when you're not there, and you watch out for their house when they're not there. So we definitely want to keep that small town vibe there, but then also try to get some of that traffic off of the interstate. And I think this year our sales tax revenue was a little bit over $1.4 million. With having businesses along the interstate to bring more people in, I mean, I'd love to see that revenue hit $2 million in the next 3 to 5 years, and that by doing that takes the burden off of the citizens for the property taxes. So I think that's a huge draw for the city.
So it is my understanding, after the questions have been asked and they've been answered, each candidate will have a chance to give a kind of a closing statement about what they feel like they can bring to the position. So I would like to start. You want to volunteer, or do you want me to just? Okay, Bo, you start. And this is a 2-minute limit. Okay. They are keeping.
Hard part.
They are keeping track of the.
I wrote some basic just points.
Okay, are you timing him? Okay, go.
And
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, you're good. All right. So I know we don't want to dwell on the past too much, but the sports complex, I mean, obviously it's cost us a lot of money. So, you know, with interest, everything, we're looking at $34.7 million till 2053. With operational costs and inflation, everything, we're looking at an average of $1.69 million a year. to pay for that. And how did we get here? I mean, we got here from the lack of citizen involvement. There was never a vote. There was never putting anything out there that asked the citizens, hey, do you want this? You know, so it's really the lack of the citizen involvement. It's a lack of transparency. You know, there was never a study performed. They took it on the word of 4 banks who were already investing on insured bonds or certificates. And so that was, you know, they have an interest of, oh, well, it's insured. We'll go for it. But it wasn't necessarily the best thing for us. And, you know, just a lack of independent due diligence. And that goes with seeing how it would impact everything year over year. You know, it was passed unanimously without even a single question asked on that May 10th, 2022 meeting. And so, you know, to look forward, to look into the future, you know, I'm really suggesting hard on this, and, you know, I want to put it on the agenda to have a workshop for a debt management policy ordinance. This is something that'll go into the future. You know, like I said, it's rough because it's going to require everybody's involvement in it. And so the most powerful necessary step for this to restore credibility, to provide guidance in the future, prevent this kind of thing from happening again, and something that we can put in the grant applications, and something for investors to see that we've done something proactive and positive in the city in the wake of that. Okay? I still had a lot more to go, but we'll go for it. You can ask me later if you want.
I saw the timer raise his hand.
I saw it too. I see how much I can sneak in.
Okay, Mike, you don't have to stand, but if he did, you might want to.
Yes. All right. I feel I bring a strong leadership with my background. My current job, I was a sheriff deputy for numerous years in Ohio. And I want to look out for the citizens and myself too. I don't want to be closed door. I want everything that happens at city council to be community-wide. And I know some of the things that happen can't be, but we need to be. It needs to be transparent with our citizens. I mean, we actually work for y'all. And like I said earlier, we have an older generation out here. I mean, you look around the room today, 95%. So I really work for y'all. You gonna answer? Stan?
I'm here for a voice. I want change, and the only way to do that is to step up and go for it. So with my experience in business and operating with people, I know there's a lot going on. There's a lot that needs to be discussed, and like he was saying, being open, being transparent, because if the more that everybody's kept in the dark, the more questions they're going to have. You'll never be able to keep up with the keyboard warriors, but if everybody knows that you have an open door, then they have no problem coming and talking to you. So just being able to listen and react accordingly.
All right. So I want to thank y'all for coming tonight. So, you know, I've lived here for 22 years. Got family here, got kids that have been raised here. Some are in school, some are out of school from here. Transparency is huge. You know, we've made strides to be more transparent. The live stream, doing the live stream right now, we don't want to hide. There's nothing to hide. We're doing everything for y'all. We're trying to make the best decisions for the city as a whole. You know, we as Bo said, we've taken some debt on. Hope, you know, the data that we were given says that it's going to be a good thing, but we've had to make some hard spending cuts. But we're from where we are, from where the city was a year ago to where we are now. We're slowly digging out of that. So, you know, if y'all give me the opportunity to keep serving, I will do it with God on my side and y'all's voices in my ear, and we will continue moving this city forward.
It's not hard to stand, it's not hard, it's not easy to stand up here and answer questions and on the, just off the top of your head, give comments. I think this has been, I want to commend all of the candidates for doing it. And I think you should show your appreciation with applause. So this is my understanding, that today was to be a time for them to answer questions and to give a statement that they want you to have. If you have questions, my suggestion is to visit with them after we dismiss the forum. This is your chance to have a one-on-one visit with them and find out what it is you want to know. But this was not going to be a time where we have interaction back and forth with the audience. And is that correct? Okay. I wanted to make sure I had that understood. So thank you all very much and good luck in the race. And I'll be watching from the sideline. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Hall.
To all of you.
Thank you.
That's it. I thought we was gonna.
Is that Bo? I think, is that your mic?